Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler Alexander with Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. We're out here in Big Mike's in Denham Springs, Louisiana. We got Mr. Mike Oneal here, the owner of Big Mike's. I want to sit down with him today and kind of get him to talk about, what Big Mike's is, what everything he's ever came with Big Mike's, and what the community of Denham Springs means to him. That way, people who either live in Denham, live in Walker, live in Watson, that know of Big Mike's, that don't know a good bit about it, get him to kind of explain to you what they do here, how great the atmosphere is, and people who are moving in, buyers who want to look to move to Denham Springs. Big Mike's is a great place, to hang out, to eat. It's just a fantastic restaurant, and Mr. Mike Oneal will kind of explain to y'all everything about it. And without further ado, Mr. Mike, will go ahead and let you open it up and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi to everybody. First of all, I'm glad that you gave me this opportunity. I think this is a really smart thing you're doing, and I think it's great for the community. Let people know that are thinking about coming out here to Livingston Parish. We always refer to it as God's country, and what a great place to live, great place to grow up, great schools and whatnot like that. But I appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely, awesome. So, Mr. Mike, let me ask you, what kind of got you into this business?
A long time ago, showing my age, in 1989, I lived with a couple buddies. And Denham Springs was dry at the time, and I don't know if a lot of people knew that. But on the other side of Florida Boulevard, his parents, one of my roommate's parents, owned a little bar, a packaged liquor store called UJ's. So long story short, we kind of talked to them, we took over it. We wanted to invite our friends on the way to Baton Rouge, because that's where we had to go. We had to go out to Baton Rouge if you wanted to have a beer, meet some girls, whatnot. And so I opened in September of 1989 with a couple buddies of mine, with the goal of just make it to Christmas, make a little extra money, hang out with our friends.
Right.
That was it. Been out of high school for 2-3 years, and so that's how I got into the bar business. The restaurant business was different. I met my wife, Jocelyn Oneal, in the early 2000s, and she was a restaurant lady. She had started out hostess, bartending, worked at pizza places in St. Francisville, and she was working at a place on Sherwood Forest. And so I knew the bar business, she knew the restaurant business. We had a couple kids. Being at the bar till 3 o'clock in the morning was not working anymore. So she was the general manager of this place. It was called Cocadrees. And so we bought it. She did the menu, I did the front of the house, and boom, we had Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Started in March of 2010.
Well, tell us a little bit. You kind of reference your family and all that, and everyone that knows Big Mike's around Denham Springs, Watson area, who comes here all the time, knows that you're a real family man. Kind of tell us a little bit how your family helps you out with this business and what they do here.
Well, my dad, it's crazy. I borrowed $900 from First National Bank. My dad co-signed for it in 1989, which now it just seems so minimal. My dad owned a bar. He was a state trooper all his life, 27 years. He had a little spell there where he quit, I guess, trying to find himself, and he opened up a little bar called Into the Alley. So I don't know if you can say it was in my blood or not, but so my dad loaned me the money to help open it. But I feel like, my grandfather was a businessman, and I always was drawn to that, always attracted to that when I heard stories about it. Again, he was the mayor of Denham Springs in the late 60s. He developed a lot of subdivisions, Shelley home sites. He went down to the Tickfall River, developed Terry Harbor. Always was opening businesses, ice companies, gas stations. So I don't know if that really was in my blood, but I just always wanted to be my boss. I graduated high school in 1986. I was my own boss by 1989, and I've been my own boss until I married Jocelyn. So it felt comfortable. When we opened it up, the other guys kind of felt uncomfortable, but everything about it, the long hours, dealing with the people, dealing with the problems, just everything felt very comfortable from the beginning, and I felt like it was something that I wanted to do. So to sit here now and say I've been serving, people of Livingston Parish and Denham Springs mainly for 30 years, it's unfathomable, but it also makes me very prideful,
Absolutely. So do your daughters work here, or do they?
I have twins. Jocelyn and I have twin girls, Ashlyn and Brooklyn, and they'll be 21 in June. But they both work here. They do management, bartending, waitressing. They do it all. They probably started. They were 10 years old when we opened Big Mike's, and I can remember like it was yesterday. They were rolling silverware and helping us prep, just like my 9-year-old Keaton.
Right.
Keaton will come up here now and help us bag chips and portion out clubs and stuff like that. But they've been working here, I guess you could say, for for 10 years. Had a couple other little jobs here and there, but pretty much this has been their life. And I hope that our plan one day is to hopefully that they can take it over for everything that Joss and I have done, and they can take it over.
All right. Start them young, huh?
Yes,
Start them young.
Train them your way.
That's right. Fantastic. Fantastic. So let me ask you this question. So, is there one item on your menu that is just the go-to item that somebody has to get, which you say is just the best thing on the menu?
Now, you want my opinion, or you want the numbers opinion?
Let's give me your opinion, and then give me the numbers opinion. Let's do both of them.
All right, my opinion is it used to be the teriyaki chicken sandwich, but it's definitely the etouffee dip, which was an item that came from Bar Rescue. You can do so much stuff with it. You can eat it with crostinis, you can eat it with chips, you can put it on a baked potato. I mean, I had somebody put it on toast. I mean, you can really do a number of things with it. It might even make a good sandwich. You know, we were kind of talking. It's not real healthy, but it's one of the items that we got from Bar Rescue. As far as the numbers go, just real fast, you know, the Denham dip, the club sandwich is one of our best sellers. And then as far as burgers go, the Big Mike's burger, which again is just, you know, cheddar and Swiss and shrimp. People like. You don't really get a plain cheeseburger anymore. People just, you know, now the younger generation, they like to, I guess you could say, kick it up a little bit.
A little peanut butter.
So a lot of our, you know, we have peanut butter bacon sandwich, and just, you know, anything from the bacon Swiss and the Big Mike's burger with it. You put mushrooms and onions and whatnot. It's just people that. But the etouffee dip, once anybody's ever had it, I've never had anybody, and it's been here since 2016, since after the flow we reopened. I have never had anybody come up to me and tell me they didn't like it. I mean, it's kind of addicting.
It is, absolutely. That's what I was telling him before. That's my go-to thing. That's what I get every time. You know, whether I get it for a meal, as an appetizer. I mean, sometimes if we order waiter, we'll order 3 loads of it, and we'll just eat that for our meals, our whole family. I mean, it's that good. So now y'all kind of got an idea of what to eat here. I mean, everything on the menu is good. Like I said, we order from here probably once a week, and I've never ever had anything bad. None of my family's ever had anything bad. And we order something different every time. It's all fantastic. One of the best, you know, best meals we've had all around, especially for the price that it is here. Absolutely. So, what if somebody wanted to host a meeting, an event, kind of a team meeting or a birthday party, whatever? Do y'all offer that here?
We do, and it's really a big business, and we like to think that we have a good protocol and a good system set up to do it. We do everything weekly. We have a business networking group, B&I, we have the Rotary, we have the Kiwanis Club, we have DSAA, Alumni Association meets here. So we have a lot of meetings. In the evenings we have bike clubs, Corvette clubs, all kinds of different organizations. The Republican women meet here the first Wednesday of every other month. So we've had a lot of opportunity to, you know, figure out a game plan and figure out a system to where we can really excel at these parties. We have a lot of, we have what we call banquet rooms. We have 2 banquet rooms. They'll hold about 40 people comfortably each, or we can open it up and hold a party as big as 80. And then we actually now, since Bar Rescue, we have the Crown Royal Room, which is almost 4,000 square feet. So it gives us a huge opportunity, especially in these times now where people are concerned about social distancing. We have a lot of meetings over there. I think we just had a wedding rehearsal dinner. I think we just had a reveal party. So we definitely have the rooms. We have a catering menu items, which they can look on the website, Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill, or our Facebook page. But we do a lot of parties. Our banquet rooms stay booked. When you walk into the manager's office, which is over there, the first thing you see is a huge calendar. And it is because all of the parties and everything. So I think we've become pretty good at it. And I think that's important. If we did 1 or 2 a week, then you wouldn't have the systems in place to, you know, do it. And it's very important whether you're having an announcement party or a wedding party or a birthday party or anything like that. So we have a lot of systems in place, and it's a really big part of our business is to have the building. There's a lot of great restaurants in this town. I have eaten probably in every single one of them. But I believe somebody told me the other day we're the largest. We're almost 11,000 square feet.
Wow.
And with a 299 seat capacity. So we can house a lot of people. And having these different dining rooms and banquet rooms and the Crown Royal rooms gives us an opportunity to cater a lot of parties. So we're a lot of business meetings, realty, Christmas parties, things like that. So it's really good for us.
Fantastic. There you go, guys. If y'all want your next team meeting or birthday party, whatever it is, get with Big Mike's. They'll take care of you. Absolutely. So So Mike, tell us a little bit about the Crown Royal Room. So not a lot of people know what that is. That's kind of a new thing after Bar Rescue aired. Tell us a little bit about what you have in there, what y'all do in there, and stuff like that.
Well, it originated, Jocelyn and I had a plan to have an adult kind of area because it's a restaurant first, no doubt about it. We sell way more food than we do alcohol. But we wanted an adult area that we could still sell food to and all that. So it was in our heads. And we were going to address it at the end of the year. Of course, the flood came, wiped everything out. There was an existing business in there already. And so when in our pre-interviews with Bar Rescue, when how somebody contacted them and they contacted us, and then we knew they were coming. In some pre-production interviews, we told them our vision. Jocelyn and I told them we wanted an adult area with pool tables, dart machines, a bar area specific for the bar and for 21 and above. And so Bar Rescue and John Taffer, God bless them, I mean, they took it to another level. The reason it became the Crown Room is Crown was one of their big sponsors. So Crown really donated a lot of money and items and stuff. So they decked it out in Crown stuff, and it became the Crown Room, and we still call it the Crown Room today. And I believe Taffer refers to it on the show as the Crown Room. But again, it has 3 pool tables, dart machines, jukebox. We have live music. Now right now it's only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights because, like we say, it's predominantly bar area. We want people to come in and eat, and then at 9 o'clock they can walk over there and listen to live music, play some pool. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. You don't have to go eat somewhere, then go entertain yourself somewhere, and then go home. So our dream was for them to come in at 7 o'clock and eat on a Friday night, go over there at 9 o'clock, listen to music until 11 and 12, dance, play pool, darts, whatever they choose. And then instead of going to, let's just say, one of the breakfast places, they can get a muffalata pizza or a Big Mike's burger on the way out the door. So we kind of, kept them here, got their, money, got their business.
There you go.
So that's how it become. And like I say, because of the square footage, today that we're doing this is a Wednesday. Tonight we have line dancing. You'll have anywhere from 20 to 25 men and women, but predominantly women over there. They had a line dancing contest. Prior to the coronavirus, on Tuesdays we did bingo, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday you'll have this Friday we have live music. Saturday we have a DJ. So we kind of try to reach every group, every demographic, and give people a place to go. And then of course on Sundays when the Saints are playing, Saturdays when LSU's playing. I mean it's huge, it's packed. We I think there's 12, 13 TVs on the wall. We got a high def projector we pull out. We can pump sound throughout the whole thing. So the Crown Room is kind of it's definitely a benefit to have that square footage. It has its own kitchen, so we can actually shut this restaurant down, send the younger staff home. They can all go home, got work, school the next day or whatnot, and then we can keep the Crown Room open. It has its own kitchen to service it. So every minute we're open, we're selling food, and so it's really been a blessing from Bar Rescue and John Taffer and his staff, and we call it the Crown Room, and gonna keep it.
Absolutely. The atmosphere in the Crown Royal Room is fantastic. I can tell you, we've been, I know for sure the past 3 years we've been to every LSU Alabama game in there, and we've watched it in there because God knows we don't have that on. Yeah. I know last year, the 2019 season for sure, we were there almost every single game because LSU football is most of the time a letdown to some of us.
Yeah.
Not saying every time, but that season, it's kind of something special. So it's always like something was going to happen in there, and I can tell you, it's a lot better drinking when they win than when they lose, and it's a better night in there when that happens. So absolutely, y'all come on out. Like I said, he has live band. How often do you normally have live bands out there?
We're going to try to have something every Friday. Now that some of the restrictions have been lifted, we're going to try to go back to what we were doing before. And it was predominantly, live music on maybe Thursday, 1-man band, 2-man band, and then a band on Friday night and a DJ on Saturday. So that's what we're going to try. And it just got lifted, but that's what we're going to lead up to, is to have live music on Thursday and Friday, and maybe a DJ on Saturday.
Sweet. So there you go, guys. All week long, you got something to do with Big Mike's, whether it's sitting down, eating some great food, or hanging out, watching some TV in there, shooting some pool, getting some drinks, whatever you want to do. Big Mike's has it all. So absolutely. So Mr. Mike, I wanted to talk to you about this. So a lot of people in Denham Springs were affected by the flood in 2016, if not just about everybody. It was something that probably we may never see again. Something that one of the worst things we've ever seen in Denham Springs. But I know it affected you personally and your business personally more than it probably did a lot of people. Because I actually remember you actually were in our apartment complex back whenever it happened. Y'all had moved to our apartment complex, and we had seen you walking around there. So I know it affected you and also your business. You know, it's one thing to just affect somebody's house, when it affects your livelihood and your business and your job. You know, it's totally different. So kind of explain, you know, how you overcame that to where Big Mike's is today.
Well, you know, there's a lot of situations that happen in your life and you have no idea how you're going to handle them unless it happens. I would have lost $1 million if you would have told me that Denham Springs would flood. Like you say, 90-something% of the businesses and homes were affected. So at first, after the shock wears down, we lost our home, we lost all 3 of our vehicles, and we lost our business. And it's all, you know, I got here Friday morning, life was great, very blessed. And then by Saturday evening, you realize you've lost everything. So just the sheer shock was amazing. And like you said, Jocelyn and I were just one of the many, if not everybody, that went through it. I have other friends that lost a whole, house and business. But I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Of course, you have to just show some resiliency. You gotta stand back up on your feet. A lot of things that my dad told me, the way I was raised, the way Jocelyn was raised. Being owners, I think, helped. The people that, we knew we had a 40-person staff. What are we going to do? How many people out of work? I mean, it was such, the whole totality of it, to take it all in was incredible. But you know what happened? And I tell people this all the time. God works in mysterious ways. He might have chose this area. Because I feel I don't know if there's a lot of areas that could have taken this and recovered from it. You can use a lot of cliche-ish words, resiliency, and just, I don't know. But it brought us more together. I know families that got closer together. I know Jocelyn and I, respected and appreciated what we had before we lost it all. You sometimes take the things for granted. You have healthy children, you have a great business, you have a great marriage, and you kind of get lost in the shuffle there and you take things for granted. So I really think the flood brought everybody together. I became closer with friends. The conversations, the tears, the hugs, nothing else to do except sit in a driveway on a milk crate and share your stories with people. Hey, I'm gonna go help you at your house today. You come help me in my house tomorrow. Brought everybody together, and I think the whole community. And I mean, it was amazing, the people that reached out to us. I mean, and then in just Jocelyn and I's perspective, I mean, the mayor gives me a call on my cell phone, wants to know how I'm doing. Garrett Graves called me from Washington, wanted to know, hey Mike, how's your family, this and that, whatever. I'm gonna be down there, I'm gonna take care of the community. But so I mean, just everybody's just kind of eyes wide open their heart. I mean, there's people walking around our subdivision handing out hamburgers. So what I'm saying is, besides the inner strength we had, you received so much help and so much strength from everybody else in this entire community. And then in people coming from Lake Charles, Lafayette, New Orleans. We had a church group come and hand out hamburgers, and they were from like Kentucky. So I mean, it brings out the best of the best. And every time you read the news, you read the newspaper, and you're just like, oh, what kind of world are we living in? Something like that happens, and I still believe that there's more good people out there than there is bad.
Absolutely.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. And something like this, a tragedy like this, brings it out. Now, of course, here with floods, hurricanes, it seems that it's been. You have good months, you have good years,
Right.
But I tell you what, that's what I brought out of it, and that was one of the things that helped us. I mean, it was amazing that people that were like, hey, you need to clean out the bar tomorrow? All right, we'll be up there. Just people show up, customers, regulars, bar regulars, kitchen regulars, restaurant regulars, people from specific groups, church groups, did clubs. And so it was really like you had no choice but to come back. Right. There was no choice to fail, because all your friends and family and your community and the people around you, they weren't going to let you fail. Right. And so it made it so much easier and made it just so much more heartfelt. And then to be back and be fortunate, and the other help we received and all that stuff, now to walk in here every day and appreciate it. And I mean, just appreciate what people did and who painted that wall and who fixed that and who, it's amazing. So to answer your question, I guess as a whole, the Denham Springs is what made us come back. I mean, just they gave us the strength and the enthusiasm and everything. And we knew, I think I say that in a bar rescue, we found out really fast. We knew how much the community meant to us. People such as yourself, once a week, clubs and all that. We found out how much we meant to the community. And that we were in this together and that we were a team. And that there was help. And so it was amazing. It was actually, you looking back on it now, it's probably one of the worst and best things that has ever happened to me, to be honest with you.
I remember when it happened, it was, there was Facebook groups going on about it, not just Big Mike's. I mean, there was Facebook groups, there was, GoFundMe set up for, all these businesses in Livingston Parish. And these are, to kind of explain the community of Denham Springs to somebody that doesn't know, there was people setting up GoFundMes for businesses that flooded, while these people that set them up also had their own homes flooded. And they're still out there offering help for businesses because they know that the businesses and the get-togethers in Denham Springs is what keeps this community what it is. And just like, Big Mike's is a prime example for that. Everyone gets so close at Big Mike's. You have all your gatherings here, your friends here, and it's just amazing to see, it kind of opened everybody's eyes to what the community of Denham Springs and Watson and Walker, it's kind of like we're one big community right there with us three, and it's awesome just to see everyone come together in a time where, not just a few people were affected by this. I mean, it was literally everybody was affected, and there were still people, had their homes flooded, but they were out in boats rescuing people, and I mean, it was absolutely crazy to see. And we were fortunate enough that our own house, we didn't get flooded, but my mom, she did get 8 foot in her house. She lived right off River Road in Denham, so it was kind of crazy to see, everyone bounce back from that, and especially y'all, how y'all rebounded from it, because it is, like I said, this is definitely a place that brings a lot of people together. And whether it's a sporting event, whether it's just sitting down to eat, whether it's a live band, whatever it is, it's just Big Mike's is kind of the place to be, and it really brought a lot of people back together after the flood. I remember that. This place was swamped after the flood, because like everyone was like, oh, we can finally get back together with everybody. Everyone was talking on Facebook, when is Big Mike's gonna open back up? When is Big Mike's gonna open back up? And we would drive by, see all the construction of it and everything when Bar Rescue was there, kind of see what they were doing. And I'll never forget, and this kind of sums it all up, the night, Bar Rescue finished and they had the showing. I don't know if any of y'all seen Bar Rescue, but they kind of bring Mr. Mike and all his family in when they finish the restaurant. They don't get to see it. So they have their backs turned and they have like a big reveal. Well, there was probably, I had to park, I don't know if you know where Big Mike's is, I had to park in the Canes parking lot in order to get to Big Mike's. It was that far, and there was that many people there. I was there an hour before it started, and I was so far back where Big Mike looked like an ant whenever I was looking at him. That's how many people were there. It was absolutely insane.
It was over 500.
Yep.
And they told us later that it was the biggest reveal as far as the public showing up that they had had in the history of the show. Up to that point that they actually had to run and go make more copies of the release that people had to sign just in case they were on TV.
Yeah.
And he said they had, I think 200 or 300, which is like a big one for them. And before they knew it, they were gone, and they had to send somebody quickly to go make a couple hundred more. But they said it was the biggest reveal as far as the public, people just coming and showing up. So
wow, that is amazing. I can believe it. Absolutely, it felt like more than that, but I can believe it. There was people in their trucks out in the parking lot sitting out there. It was absolutely crazy.
Well, there was more people than that. They said they had over 500 and something that signed. It was like 580. But you're right. There was people that I saw 3 days later, and they're like, Big Mike, I got here 4 hours before it happened, but I couldn't even get in the line to get the papers. And they just said we sat in our parking lot and sat in our trucks and drank beer and watched from afar and just watched it. So it was really cool.
It was a fantastic moment. So, yes, sir. Tell me how when y'all, so the day that y'all flooded and shut down the place, how long was it before you got to come back in here, roughly?
Let's see. I left that Friday. I got to work on Friday. And I tell the story, I was angry because I kept getting phone calls, can't come to work, my street's flooded, can't come to work, this, that. And I'm like, well, if you knew you lived, I live on a street that floods. So I left early that morning. And so I was kind of fussing. I was like, well, if you knew you were going to flood, you should have made some arrangements. Should have had your shit picked up. So I was kind of a butthole. And I finally realized that, okay, not even at that time on Friday, not knowing what this thing was going to become. But I said, all right, I called my wife. I said, Jocelyn, we have to shut down. We don't have any employees. And she's like, really? And I said, apparently it rained a lot last time you saw our subdivision. There's a lot more rain on the way. I said, we're just going to shut it down and make some arrangements. I'll get home, get on the phone. We'll get some people. We're going to lose a day, unfortunately, but what can we do? Well, I mean, that afternoon, we had water in our house at 2 o'clock. That's how bad our subdivision. So, of course, we had no idea what it was going to turn into. So Saturday, we have a camera system. Saturday, I was able to watch. Water came in here Saturday afternoon, I believe. And so I left that Friday. We did not get back in here until I had some friends of mine that came, Darren Spence and Danny Bluen, came by boat to just come and check on the place. And I think that was maybe a Monday, you know, or I'm not sure when the water down. It was all such a daze, but it was at least a week before we stepped foot back in here, before the water went back down, and before we could actually come and look. Because of course I lost power, lost the cameras, couldn't tell what was happening. And then, I remember like it was yesterday to walk in and see everything. I was just like, there's no way that this just happened. So it was at least a week.
Wow. How long was the rebuild process from that time?
Well, we started gutting it a little bit, and then Emily, a bartender at the time, she contacted Bar Rescue. So I think they had boots on the ground maybe in October. Again, I can't remember exactly. Yeah. I think we flooded in August, if I'm correct. Yeah. So we did some gutting. The landlord, Mr. Bobby Waters, he had people, we had to, again, people gutting it out, cleaning it out, taking everything, trying to wash. The good stuff went in the back, trash that had to be thrown away, went out there. But, so when Bar Rescue got here, they came on a Monday. All it had was sheetrock and floors. And the bars were built, but it still needed the tops and just basically the frame of the 2 bars. Had done some plumbing, moved some things around, but still just no money secured. All the banks were standing there like, hey, I don't know if we can help you. We have no idea what's going on. So just really at a standstill until Bar Rescue got here. And then I don't even know how they did it, but we were kicked. Monday was the last day we were here. We got here Tuesday morning and we were told we couldn't come inside anymore. And by that Sunday at 5, they were done.
Wow.
They worked 24 hours a day. They had 12-hour shifts, 12-hour security guard, 12-hour chefs, cooks, producers, contractors. But they did what they did in less than a week.
That's insane.
Which was insane.
That's
so to think about it, I mean, I talk about it on the show. We had no idea if and when we were ever going to open. Right. It could be months before the banks would loan us money. It could be months before our staff was able to even live here, because a lot of them had to move off and go to other places. So it was really amazing. The show was the lifesaver. The show was besides the community and everything we did, we were coming financially at a standstill because no money, renting an apartment, and just so the show was definitely the same as the punch.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Mike. So if somebody was moving to Denham Springs, somebody that's not familiar with the area, not familiar with Denham, Watson, Walker, that whole area, what is one bit of advice you would give them if they were questioning the community, the school system? What is some advice you would give them on that if they were to ask you?
Well, I think, again, referring back to the flood, just family would be one word that would come to mind. Community, which doesn't do it justice. But when I was here, when I was in high school, it was that small town. Baton Rouge used to laugh at us. We were a bunch of rednecks and we didn't have teeth and we weren't real smart. But everybody wanted to live here, but wanted to work in Baton Rouge, but didn't want to live there. But we're not the little small community anymore. I feel like we've grown leaps and bounds. And we might not have a high-rise building. We might not have a lot of elevators in this town. But I tell you what, the people are what makes the difference. And it's I would say it's cliche-ish, and every community can't say that, and they probably can. But like I just told you a little while ago, that flood, and you see everybody that came out, and the church people helped people that didn't go to church. You know, the wealthy people helped the poor people helped the wealthy people. I tell people all the time in interviews, I have friends that lived in mansions that flooded, and I have friends that lived in trailers that flooded. I had their Mercedes flood, and their 1976 Dodge truck flooded. It was affected everybody, and it brought us all together, and you can still feel that strength today. And opening up this show, like you said, it enabled people that I just want to go and have a beer with a friend, and so I just talk about, who's contracting, who's painting, did you find this, who's loaning you money? It was just amazing, the conversation, people that just could not wait to get together and to help each other and give each other advice. And I think that sums up the entire community. If you move here and you want to be a loner and you don't want to have any friends, whether it be church, whether it be a ball field, whether it be a bar, this ain't the place for you, because everyone's gonna wave, everyone's gonna come over and meet you. It's that, you see it on TV, the person that brings cookies over at a new neighbor that just moved in. That actually happens here. And if you're in a school group or a church group or whatever like that, you're gonna become family. You're gonna know everybody's names. Your kids are gonna play with each other. We go on vacations with people that we met. That's the community that this is, and it's not for somebody that doesn't want to be involved and give as much as you take and believe in karma. And just, what a wonderful place to raise. I've raised 2 kids in the school system in Denham. I have one in Walker school system right now, and it's continued to branch out. Denham Springs gets all the pub, I guess you could call it, but Watson and Walker, like you said a little while ago, it's Livingston Parish as a whole. You go down to Lower Livingston, great school systems. Or be it, Springfield, Albany, French Settlement. I have friends all up and down the river, and we provide so much. If you want to live in a city, you want to live in a nice subdivision, got it. You want to live in a golf community, we got Carter, we got Greystone, we got it. You want to live on the river and have a boat in your backyard, got it.
Right.
We have it all. We really do. But you can still maintain that small country feeling, even though we've grown by tens and thousands of people. There's subdivisions going up everywhere, businesses. We have everything. And that's, once Jubin Carlson opened up, my wife looked at me and said, I don't know if I need to go to Baton Rouge anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And she's like, we have a mall. Like I say, we can play golf, we can go to a movie. It has everything that you need. And to still have that just generosity, that friendliness, and family, it's an easy sell. Just come and hang out, come spend a weekend, come up here, listen to a band on Friday night, go down to the river and ride a boat, and and go out to the sandbar on Saturday, Sunday get up, go to church, go out, eat somewhere, hang out, backyard barbecue. It's all right here. It really is. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And I've lived in California, I've lived in Arizona, I've lived in New Mexico. Great states, have family in all of them, love it, but there's just something about this place.
Absolutely, that's what weird. I'm planning on getting my house at the end of the year, and I was, me and my girlfriend were kind of talking about, where we want to move, and I was talking about the Prairieville area. I was like, but there's just not, and my aunt and them live out there, and it's just not the same as this. It's just not, the community of, for a lot of y'all, who live in Watson, y'all kind of know the community of Watson. And Watson used to be so, even when I was in high school back in 2015, that Walmart, we felt like we were Baton Rouge now because we had a Walmart. We had a grand opening, the cheerleaders were there, it was insane. And it used to be, you drive through Watson, it's just nothing but woods on each side, and you had a high school, and I remember when there were the old Live Oak supermarket right there by the old high school in Springfield, when that was there. And that just kind of shows you what Watson used to be, but Denham is just the same way. And I feel like the connection with Denham and Watson and Walker, just like we were talking about, is just, it's not just Denham Springs, it's like this. It's kind of like, we're like 3 brothers. That we have such a, everyone, even when you're going to high school, when I went to Live Oak, half my best friends play baseball for Denham. I had my best friends playing baseball for Walker. I had my best friends at Live Oak. I just knew, we just all had such a tight bond, and it's just from growing up. You grow up in Livingston Parish when you're playing sports, or even if you're not playing sports, you grow up with people that eventually are going to go to Walker, Live Oak, or Denham. One of those 3 schools, you're not probably all going to go to Live Oak, you're not going to all go to Denham or Walker. And so it's just, he summed it up absolutely perfect. Family is probably one of the best words that I could use to describe Denham Springs for somebody that, if you live in Denham, you know what we're talking about, but if you don't, and you're thinking about moving to Denham, that kind of sums it up right there for you. It's a great community, leadership everywhere. You know, church groups, restaurants, you know, sporting events, just everything you can possibly want. In Baton Rouge, we have it in Denham, just at a tighter community. Like he was saying, you know, we got Jupin Crossing now. We got the movie theater there. We got the mall there. We have all these restaurants opening up there. These fast food joints. You know, we have, you know, Big Mike's here in Denham. You got, you know, places just the Antique Village in Denham. You know, which is
sports complex at Watson right now is probably one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. I coach a youth team out there at Live Oak, and we actually had practice last night, and that complex is just phenomenal. I mean, it is absolutely, and they're about to make it completely turfed. They're about to turf the whole complex, the rest of it, and the new high school. I mean, the new baseball field they just got is just out of this world. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm kind of jealous because I wish we had it in high school. But hey, you know what? It's all good. And then now Denham, I see all these signs up that Denham's, you know, getting better stuff for their schools from facilities and all that. I see all those signs up. I see them on Facebook and everything. So hopefully that can happen. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you summed it up perfect with the community here in Denham. It's a fantastic community. So before I close it out here, let me ask you this one final question. You've lived in Denham your whole life, or
since '84. I was born in Baton Rouge, divorced family out west, so I did kind of out west and I got here. But yes, I feel like I have. But I graduated high school here, and I've lived here most of my life.
Right. So you kind of know the community. You know a good bit about pretty much everything in the Denham Springs community. So how, if somebody, you know, I know I asked you to sum up, you know, the community in one word. So if somebody wanted, you know, advice on Denham, it just, you know, what I'm moving to Denham, I'm worried about, you know, this, and this. You know, say I'm worried about the school systems. You know, I'm worried about whatever. What is something to ease their mind about Denham Springs that you could tell? I know you said, you know, we're a family, we're a great community, but like what is just overall, you know, to kind of close it out, what you can say about Denham Springs?
Well, you know, if I was moving here from the beginning, and of course, younger I probably didn't look like this, but older, you know, definitely do your due diligence, because I really don't think I don't care what rock you overturn here, and I mean, I might feel like I'm tooting this town's horn for my own benefit, but if I lost my business, I would not move from here.
Right. I
wouldn't. And if I had to go to work for somebody else or whatnot like that, I mean, that's just how strongly I feel about the community and the people in the community. But like I said a little while ago, come over here and spend some time.
Right.
You know, I'm a sports guy. I think you're a sports guy. When LSU's recruiting somebody, all they want to do is get them on campus. I'll just come on the campus for the weekend, and the campus will sell itself.
Yep.
Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. You know, go over to the PMAC, this, that, the restaurants, whatever. It'll sell it itself, and I tell the same people. There's a lot of great communities around here, but just come give us a weekend.
Right. Come
over here on Friday, like I just said. Come over here and meet the people. Come and sit in the bar rooms. You know, it's crazy. John Tafford talks about all the time that the bar rooms were the gathering places back in the day. There wasn't, you know, clubs, and there wasn't, you know, wedding halls or whatever. The people went to the bar to meet people. I can't tell you how much business. I always joke in my bar. People meet here. I see them at the table, laptops out, folders at the bar, and they're doing business. And I'm like, hey, you know, I get a little percentage. Can I get a little cut? But anyway, my suggestion for them would be to come over here and spend some time with the people. And I really think if we get you on campus and you come over here and you meet the people and you go to not just my place, but to the other restaurants, go to the ballpark, hang out, watch a ball game. If you're a sports fan, doesn't matter if you know anybody in it, go over there and hang out with these people. I'm telling you, they're going to hand you a beer at the ice chest.
Absolutely.
They're going to ask you to sit down. They're going to tell you that my grandson's number 12. Yeah. You go to the church, people are going to recognize that you're new. They're not going to ignore you. They're going to embrace you. They're going to go up and say, hey, this is your first time here, you know, whether it be Immaculate Conception, First Baptist. We haven't seen you before. What's your story? And that's just the way the community is. And like I say, if you're looking for that, it's real. It's real. It's here. And the people, and I mean, just there, you know, everything. I have friends from everything, from courthouses to policemen to realtors to whatnot. And they love the community. They embrace the community. They can't wait to you know, for good things to happen here and to help each other. And I mean, restaurants. I have a great relationship. I just went to to Sombreros. And Tommy was just here, the owner was here. I go to Duke's, and Duke was over here the other day. I go to Don's, and the manager over there, Austin, he was here the other day. There's no competition. I mean, we're family. And I think that sums up a lot. And then like you were talking about the community, it creates great rivalry. I don't hate Watson. I don't hate Live Oak anymore. I don't hate Walker.
Right.
But I love to go to that game. And like you say, I know two of those guys. I know those two kids work for me, and those two kids work for me, and that creates a rivalry. But it's such a afterwards it's hugs and handshakes.
Yeah.
And I mean it goes to the whole vibe of the community of Denham Springs, of Livingston Parish.
Right.
And so I would just tell people to just give us a chance. And I really see where it can win you over. And if it doesn't win you over, then maybe this isn't the place for you.
Right.
But I'm telling you, I would think 9 out of 10 people will come here and see what we have to offer. And I think it's great what you're doing as far from a realty standpoint of it. My business side of me is, it's not just 4 walls and some bricks and stucco that you're buying. I mean, that's one of the biggest, it's one of the biggest investments that you're ever going to make.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the biggest investments we ever make, whether you own your own business or you work for somebody else. So to come over here and spend time in the community and not just tour the subdivisions, but look what's outside the subdivision. Look what businesses did you pass to get to the subdivision. Right. Where's the next church at? Where's the ball field at? Where's this? So I would suggest come and visit and meet the people. And I think that you'll find a little slice of heaven right here in Livingston Parish, God's country.
Absolutely, baby. So you hit it spot on with, getting to know the community. That's a lot of people, they just buy this house and they don't look at anything out there like, oh my God, I love that countertop. Let me get that house. And they move into it and they're like, oh my God, this area sucks. I don't like it. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So he's perfect. If y'all are interested in Denham Springs, wanting to come to Denham Springs, Watson, Walker, anywhere in Livingston Parish, just come out here. Whether you can't be that. If you're in Baton Rouge, we're 20 minutes from Baton Rouge. It's not that far. Come out here for a weekend. We have a farmer's market what's the first and third Saturday of every month. Great atmosphere out there. All kinds of tents set up, people get together. So there's always something to do in Denham Springs. And so I thank you so much, Mr. Mike, for talking to me today.
My pleasure.
Guys, you kind of got the gist of Big Mike's, kind of his story, what he's went through. So, if y'all want something to eat, y'all come out here and get some good food. You want to watch some sporting games, come out here and do it. Shoot some pool, have some beer, whatever it is. Big Mike's is a great place for it, and I definitely appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.